Gardner-Webb was close to home. I knew that it was a small school, and that's what I was looking for. Had the stuff I was looking for. I could be part of a wrestling team. I could be involved with different music stuff. And as well, it was, I'd heard it was a community. And for me, that was something that was significant. Not just to be someone who teachers or students or something would pass by and not know who I am, but be able to talk to people throughout the day constantly. And once I pieced all that together, it was a no-brainer. Gardner-Webb was going to be the place for me. I think community is still the word that I would say that pops in my head when I think about Gardner-Webb. The close-knit atmosphere on the wrestling team has been crazy, and I've been able to build really close friendships with those guys, as well as being in classes. And when you go into a class and the people inside the class, and when you get there you see that you're in a class with people that you had a class with last semester or maybe a year or two before, it's pretty cool. You just get to know everybody, and then when you see them, you meet them once or twice, and then when you go to the CAF or Tucker Student Center, you go here or there, you get to continue that conversation and get to know them more. And so it's, for me, I think the word that popped in my head was community. I think that wrestling provides a lot of disciplines. So it's a self-discipline as itself, hard work, camaraderie, different things in which you don't even know it's really going on until you step back and you look at it all. And for me, being a part of this team on this campus has allowed me to figure out what my identity is truly in. And my time here has, I've realized that wrestling or being a wrestler wasn't what I was going to be all about, but instead that God had created me to be so much more than that. I think one of my favorite things is, so when I came as a freshman, there were seniors who had a Bible study in place, and I went a couple times. I wasn't very active, but it was something I was interested in, and I got plugged in there, and getting to know some of those guys through that was pretty awesome, because it was at one of the wrestlers' suites, and I always remember going over there every week or every other week and doing that. And once that senior graduated, I was able to pick that up and continue on with that. And I think that from the first semester and the first year, I guess, being in Royster's known as the wrestling dorm, and I spent my time there the first year, and being there with my roommate and some of my buddies who were here freshman year, and we had just a time of our life running around, causing mischief, and I'll always remember that, and I think back to those times now. I think first, Coach Elliott, I appreciate the opportunity he gave me to come here. I wasn't a standout wrestler in high school. I was pretty good, but I was good for North Carolina, and I wasn't receiving scholarships from anywhere. And this was one of the only schools that would let someone walk on as part of a team. And so he gave me that opportunity. He helped look for me scholarships outside that were with my major that I'm still receiving today. And so just the opportunity to be a part of something that I loved. And, I thank him for that. It wasn't until this last year that Rod came to Gardner-Webb. And I believe that to be a God thing, because as I was using wrestling as a ministry, I was struggling doing it by myself. And when Rod came, man, we've been able to tag team a whole lot. And through that, we've been able to see people come to Christ. Even more, he pours into me. He teaches me things about discipleship that I've never taught. And so I appreciate him. And just this year, we've been able to break bread and spend time together. I've learned so much. And I think the things that we've gone through is really going to help me on my path. Well, one of the things that we've constantly said and that the coaches have constantly harped on, and I think that it's a small thing, and I think that it's actually made one of the most significant impacts in my life. And it's the quote that we say all the time, we have on our shirts, and it's as iron sharpens iron, one man sharpens another. And we think about that in a sense of lifting, or we think about it in a sense of being in the wrestling room and how we can push each other and we can make each other to be better wrestlers, better people. And, you know, just as iron sharpens iron, we also can sharpen one another. But for the longest time, you know, I just thought it was something we said. I had read it in scripture before, but as I sit back this year and realize that it's my last run, looking back, I truly have been molded by my coaches, by my teammates. I truly have been sharpened. I guess if I could give them any advice, I think it would be two things. I think it'd be a twofold. Is don't grow tired of doing good. Doing what you're supposed to pays off, and sometimes it doesn't always feel like it. Getting the extra workout in, or not doing stuff you're not supposed to do. As part of that, don't grow tired of doing what you're supposed to, because in the end, it's going to pay off. As being a person, as a wrestler, it'll pay off, and it'll show. And those who aren't, it'll show. And so, I think that's one thing. But the other thing is I can't, like I said, I came into wrestling in college with the idea of myself as just being a wrestler. And if wrestling was stripped from me, I didn't know who I was. And so I'd challenge those. I would challenge you to figure out who you are as a person. Figure out what your identity is, who you are. And I think part of that is realizing whose you are.